What's good, party people? It's your boy Tim back at it again with another vid. Um, I'm a little late. I ain't gonna lie to you. Uh, been moving around a lot. We got family pictures later on this weekend, um, or this weekend, and had to go around shopping for some clothes. So, what I mean. Well, the good thing about it is this is the only vid I have to record now, because I have pre-recorded Friday's vid on Sunday, the Sunday that just passed by. Pre-recorded the clips, put the vid together, um, and then just it's in Drive right now, so all I got to do is just post it from there. So this is pretty much the only vid I had to record this week, or now record this. But today, as far as the lesson plan, we're gonna talk about patience. You feel me? This is all aspects of patience. Things that, as far as patience goes, how they speak about it in the Bible. You know what I mean? Uh, the good thing is when I was researching where to find these verses, Google actually gave me these points. Um, looking for scriptures that have to do with patience, because that I can't bring up on my mental. Which is crazy because I could always, or I can't, not always, but sometimes I can tell you words, but I can't tell you what verse it come from, right? Which is why I started doing this, going like actually looking up the verses and everything like that. Um, so yeah, forgive me if I keep look. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hold it. Got my towel. I've been moving around a lot, so sweating and stuff like that. Hold on. But yeah, I'm gonna try to move as quickly as possible through these because it's quite a few verses. Not a whole book. Definitely not a whole book. Just you know, few that I read through that I was like, yep, that goes with that. That goes with that. That goes with that. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with all your people so we could all have a good time. You feel me? I appreciate y'all for what I mean, showing love with the views, with the likes, with the sharing, with the subscribing. You feel me? Um, and yeah, appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? More vids to come, more ideas coming to the head. Um, hopefully by I say sometime next month, I'm out moving around doing stuff. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, excited for that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get. I'm gonna go ahead try to move as fast as possible with these, just so it's not a 30-minute. You know what I mean? So yeah, today we talking about patience, uh, and these are the aspects that I'm talking about. Right? We got patience with others. We got waiting on God's timing. We got endurance and spiritual growth, and then we got wisdom and self control. Right? These are the aspects of patience. These is what, um, and really it was crazy because I was looking for points to talk about when it came to patience, but then I was like, when I was looking up the verses, it actually Google, which like I said, Google actually brought them up, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna use those, right? So yeah, we gonna go ahead and get it, go keep it going. Bet cool. So yeah, right now we are coming from Colossians chapter 3, verse 12 through 13. All right, bet. So this is patient. This is the first aspect, patience with others, and then First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12 through 15, just to add on to what I'm talking about, right? So bet cool. I'm gonna try to read these slow enough to where y'all can understand, but fast enough to where I'm not holding up the vid. I'm trying to kind of move quick. Therefore, I'm gonna put my glasses on because I cannot see. Jesus Christ. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. And I'm kind of glad they put this verse under patience with others, because that's exactly what I was. So when I thought of patience, this is what I thought about. Patience with others. What do I mean by that? Like patience, patience as far as like actual patience, like waiting, but then also patience with others. You know what I mean? Uh, patience with other people's time, patience with other people's attitudes, patience with other people's personalities, uh, other people's lives. Sometimes in life we get so caught up in our timeline that we expect people to move in our, you know, schedule. I have that problem too. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But patience with others. That's what we talking about. You know what I mean? So when it says, hold on, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against anyone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. So basically, you know what I mean? Don't sweat it. You know what I mean? Uh, when it says clothe yourself, that means basically be about it. Do what it's saying. You know what I mean? Compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. You know what I mean? Have these things, but you know what I mean? Just yeah. Um, patience with others. So yeah. Patience with others, like as far even like the smallest thing, like as far as like waiting in line, right? It's a busy day at the grocery store. You at the grocery store, you gotta buy groceries for the week, and it's long lines on all the aisles. You gotta wait through those lines to get to where you need to be. That's a great way to work on patience. Let me see what else. What else? Um, oh, I can use my situation. Not bet cool. So I can use my a situation that I was going through around my senior year. Like at the beginning of senior year, bruh, I was done with school. Like completely done with school. Like, bruh, like I wanted to be done with it, but I knew I had a whole year to go through. You right? So to have the patience to be able to go through every assignment, go through every test, go through every major test, like STAR, and uh, go through all of that to then be get to where what I mean. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to read this without my glasses. It's fogging up, but yeah. So yeah, patience with others. What I mean, you're in a situation to where what I mean, you're falling out with somebody, or you're in a relationship and you falling out with that person. Have patience with them. Oh yeah, I could say that. Yeah. So like in a relationship, right? Have patience with your spouse when it comes to like compromising, right? Sometimes these things come up where you argue with your spouse, or you just having a falling out or a disagreement. You have to be able to have the patience to be able to first off talk to them, and then be able to uh uh be there, continue to be there when they're working on compromising that, if need be, like if they, what I mean. So yeah. Um, and this verse or these verses, I should say, is just to add on, put this back down. Yeah. But I'm telling you, this weather is all right. Let me see. First Thessalonians. Oh wait, Thessalonians. I think I spelled that right. No, I didn't. Okay. 5:12 through 15. Or would yeah. I'm trying to move these quick. Oh, 12. Okay, bet cool. We'll just go to that. Just read that. And then what verse was it? 12. Bet cool. All right, cool. So we coming from First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12 through 15. And these are just add-ons to what I'm saying about being patient with others, right? So bet cool. Starting from 12. Now we ask you, brothers and sisters, to acknowledge those who work hard among you, who care for you in the Lord, and who admonish you. I should have defined that word. Hold them in the highest regard in love because of their work. Live in peace with each other. And we urge you, brothers and sisters, warn those who are idle and disruptive. Encourage the disheartened, uh, discouraged, right? Encourage the disheartened, help the weak, be patient with everyone. Yeah, be patient with everyone. Um, when I read this, hold on. Be patient with if you are a person that is because when I read this, I'm kind of thinking of it's like if you are a person who evangelizes, or if you are a person like a pastor, or somebody in ministry at church, be patient with those who don't really know, don't really know about, this is your spiritual job, is what I'm saying. to, or one of your spiritual jobs is to bring people in onto the good side and to continue to kind of, you know what I mean? So when it said, when I'm looking at this, I think of like, if you are somebody who evangelizes, right? Be patient with those who don't know how to pray. You know what I mean? So now you got to pretty much do, okay, I'm gonna pray with you. You know what I mean? Be patient with those who don't know what they talking about. So if they ain't got a Bible, get them a Bible, or you share yours. You know what I mean? Be patient, encourage the disheartened, uh help the weak, and be patient with everybody, right? So yeah, if you're a pastor and somebody ends up asking you questions at the end of at the end of the service about, shoot, what must I do to be saved, or you know what I mean, anything else having to do with, actually be there for them, and you know what I mean, walk them through that. So when I read that, I think of, okay, bet, help the weak. Help the weak. When it says like that, I mean physically weak, but then also like, weak as in like maybe like financially weak, uh, weak in the sense of not having a home. So like homeless people, for example, or be patient with them, or just but yeah, help the help the weak. You know what I mean? Help them, be patient with them too, because there's some you know you see around here that actually need that. If anything, yeah, they need that encouragement. That's what it means by saying encourage the disheartened too, or one of the things that it means. You know what I mean? So yeah, this was just kind of like an add-on to what I was already saying. So that was patience with others. Now we're gonna get into waiting on God's timing. So what this means? Hold on, let me type in the scriptures first. Okay, let me look at this one more time. I'm kind of glad I had this on my computer because this would have been a whole. Oh wait, no. Go to that one first. Psalms chapter 37, verse 7 through 8. Cool. Wait, is it just 7 through 8 or is it more? Nope, just 7 through 8. Bet. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, bet. Cool. So now that okay, bet. So let me switch back to that so I know what I'm talking about. Cool. Waiting on God's timing, right? Waiting on God's timing. Basically, waiting on God's timing whenever you pray to Him. You ever heard that saying, He may not come when you want Him to, but He's right on time? That's basically what this means. I don't know. Well, yeah, that's basically what this means, right? This is actually another way to work on your patience, right? Because you're in a situation to where you need God, right? You need God to get you out of a financial situation. You need God to you need God to uh to get you mentally straight, physically straight. You need God to, put you in a better position, I guess I could say. You know what I mean? In all aspects of life, right? Being patient with him during that. If you, bro, well, no, let me not even do that. It's billions of people around this world that are all screaming the same thing. So patience, right? So I'm the 7 through 8. So I'm gonna read through this. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Uh, yeah. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. Right? So be still before the Lord in those times instead of rushing around and moving around, and you know what I mean, and well, physically and mentally, like you're bouncing off the walls in the temple, right? You're anxious, right? You know what I mean? You're waiting on what God is trying to tell you as far as where you're supposed to move in life, or you're waiting on God to get you out of a certain situation, and you praying. Patience, right? Be patient, because it's gonna feel. I'm telling you, it's gonna feel way better once it gets to that point to where you actually are in. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think it was in another one of those messages that I did in the past, but kind of like praise God in your good times, praise and pray to God in your good times, but then also praise and pray to God in your bad times also, right? This is basically what it's talking about, right? When you do these things, be patient, right? Be still before the Lord. So, oh, yeah, had a notification. My phone was dying. I got to move quick. But, anyways, yeah, be patient whenever, I mean, be still before the Lord, right? So don't be bouncing off or try your best not to bounce off the walls. Take your time. If you need to, prayer closet, right? You got closets that you only use for clothes. You could fly around and have postcards with like regular prayers that you have, regular scriptures that go with that prayer. You know what I mean? My mom used to do it. Or I don't know if she still do it, but she used to do it. Yeah. Right. Um, yeah. Prayer, have a prayer closet with you or a prayer journal or just pray in your I guess I can say still times, but yeah, you know what I mean? Even if you got to do it on your lonesome or you know what I mean? Yeah. So bet cool. Um, but yeah, waiting on God's timing, as in when you're in those times of struggle, whether it's mentally or physical, to wait on, you know what I mean? So bet cool. This is just another scriptures to add on to add on Lamentations 3:22 through 26. And I'll start from, was it 22? Yeah, cool. So we starting from Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 through 26. Bet cool. So yeah, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those who hope. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord, right? So that was kind of like a little, add on to what, what I mean. Cool. Um, yeah. So so this next talking point is, and I'm gonna try to speak while, hold on. James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. Wait, was it 2 through? Yeah. Well, we'll just go to 2 right now. Actually, I think I came from this, which is crazy. I came from this verse already for something else. I got to go back and look at it. But yeah. So 2 through 4, right? Oh wait, let me speak on what I'm speaking on real quick. So bet this next talking point is endurance and spiritual growth, right? This is something that you got to be patient on too, especially this. Basically, spiritual growth as in building your relationship with God, right? Endurance as in, of course, endurance. You know, not physical endurance, but mental and spiritual endurance also, right? Um, oh, sheesh. Um, yeah, this is something that you have to be patient for too, because I don't know if you've ever been in a situation to where you've seen somebody like actually know what their true calling is when it comes to like your actual spiritual job, or if you've ever been in a situation to where you see somebody, uh, or you're talking to somebody and say, "Yeah, I was talking to God the other day, and God told me to go and take this job and not this job," or God told me to go help this person and not go do what I was doing. You feel me? Basically, what I mean, having, but then you looking back at yourself and you like, bro, I don't have that relationship with God. Like, yeah, I pray. Yeah, I'm going to church every Sunday or every Wednesday or whenever you go to church. Yeah, I'm doing all these things to strengthen, but I'm not there. It's another thing to be patient for, because the more and more that you do it, the closer and closer that, and it's not physically like, well, who knows? Because who knows? Maybe that, but it could be like God telling you to go somewhere, as in like, I know for me, he don't fit, like he's not physically talking to me, right? And I'm not saying I'm all the way there. Let's just keep it a being there. Uh, but but um, dang, dang. Yeah, 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 yeah. So basically, what am I saying? I just brain fart. But yeah, spiritual growth, right? Spiritual growth, as in being patient. You have to be patient in order to get to that point, right? You on the right track. You on the right track. You're on the right track to get to that point. Jesus Christ. Yeah, to get to that point, you got to keep on growing your um to keep on working on your relationship with God, right? So let's go ahead and go through James chapter 1 verse 2 through 4, which is where I came from in a past lesson vid. I forgot what it was, but cool. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Perseverance, also another word for endurance. Kind of, yeah, endurance. Like, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Right? Oh wait, I went to 5. It's all good. But yeah. So yeah. So when I look at this, I think of like, this is another form of building your spiritual endurance, but then also building your relationship with God, right? Going through situations, right? Or let me say it like this: you are going to go through situations while um, building your relationship with God. Sometimes it's God putting you in situations or obstacles, I guess I could say trials and tribulations, so that you can learn a lesson throughout that, or lessons to throughout that situation, or ultimately just get closer to him, right? In that, in that situation. Sometimes it's the enemy, or let me say it like this: sometimes it's God allowing the enemy to put you in situations. Cool. That's what yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Because if you make it, you get closer to, you get closer to God, right? Like that one situation where, which is crazy, the Job situation, right? God allowed the devil to send all those situations to Job, losing his family, losing his funds, losing his health. He was sick and everything like that, to the point to where any normal person would have spazzed out, would have, and even his wife was like, bro, curse your God and die, right? Even she was like, bro, it's over, bro. Even through situations like that, knowing, nah, I'm always down for God. I know he got me. So even in a smaller situation, like, I ain't got money to pay my bills until next week, I ain't gonna worry about it though, because I know God got me. God can, if I gotta ask somebody, if I gotta, ask for a loan, whatever the case may be, I know God got me. Right. Um, right. Yeah. So when it says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Knowing that you're always going to get through these situations builds up your faith in God, your trust in God, and ultimately produces perseverance, right? It's a bit cool. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah. Talk. Yeah. So yeah. Once again, this these verses are kind of just add-ons uh to what I was just saying. 12, 9 through 13. Cool. Just go to the full chapter. We had 24 minutes. Oh my god. We good. We good. We good. We good. Where's 9 at? Okay, bet. Cool. 9 through okay, so bet we coming from Romans chapter 12 verse through 9. I mean, whoa. Romans chapter 12, verse 9 through 13, right? So, coming from 9, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Uh, 13. Serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Jeez. Uh, so patient and afflicted. Patience in affliction. That's basically what I just said, right? Affliction also meaning like, dang. Affliction also being like a situation you might be in, or like the afflictions of the enemy, whatever. Like I said, situations, trials, and tribulations. Actual, well, let me not speak. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, though. Situations that you might be in that could possibly deter your faith. Yeah. So yeah. Uh, so never be lacking in zeal. What does that mean, Tim? I defined them for you. Cool. So never be lacking in zeal. Also, it's a passionate, wholehearted devotion and energetic commitment to God, His will, and His glory. Right. So when you say never be lacking in zeal, you're basically saying never be lacking in a passionate, wholehearted devotion and energetic commitment to God, His will, and His glory. Basically, don't be lacking in your faith with basically what I'm saying, right? But keep your spiritual fervor. Another word for zeal, honestly. I define that one too. Passionate, burning enthusiasm, and wholehearted dedication to God. It describes a life of faith that is energized, bold, and overflowing with, that's crazy, zeal, rather than being lukewarm or spiritually lethargic. Lukewarm basically means like warm, right? Warm. So when you got hot and you got cold, this is basically what God is saying. Don't be lukewarm. Don't be in the middle, right? It's ultimately bad to be on the cold side, but it's even worse being in that lukewarm middle side. You can't be on both sides. Basically, you can't be in the world and you can't be, you know, growing or trying to grow your relationship with God, right? You can't be cold and you can't be hot at the same time. You can't be in that middle because that's worse, right? That's worse. That's most of what you see in the world right now. People who say, right? People who say that they're about that, but then live in this whole other. But that's a whole nother, yeah, that's a whole nother situation. So that when they say lukewarm, that's what they mean. So yeah, so yeah, so that was just speaking further into that, and I had a whole nother verse, but I don't know. Yeah, nah, we're good. I think we're good on that. So yeah, this next, because I think y'all got the point. Y'all got the point. Bet, y'all got, yeah. So bet 28. Dang. Okay, here bet. Cool. So wisdom and self control. This is the last point. Wisdom and self control. This is what being patient, or this is patient. Being patient is one of those things that ultimately lead to wisdom and self control. Right. Being uh being patient through your situations, um, or your situation, the things that you go through ultimately lead to the wisdom of knowing, okay, I've been through that situation, so now I know what to do in that situation if it ever pop up again, right? Self-control, it could be fleshly self-control. Dang, what was I gonna say for self-control? Yeah. Uh well, let me go to the verse before I speak more on this so I don't mess it up. Because I had something in mind, but I forgot. Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. And was that 29 through, oh no, that's 16. Okay, yeah, so we'll go to that one. Wait, 14. What is it? 29. All right, bet. Cool, 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 cool. Chapter 29, chapter 14, verse 29. Bet. Cool. So we there. So this is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. I think, yeah, this is basically saying the same thing. Whoever is patient has great understanding. What is another word for understanding? Wisdom. Understanding, wisdom, or kind of, you get what I'm saying. Whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick tempered displays folly. I should have defined that word. Gee, but yeah. Um, Matter of fact, Google right here. Hold on. Folly generally refers to a lack of good sense, an unwise act, cool, or foolish behavior. Yep, I'm glad I defined that. So yeah, whoever is patient has great understanding, but who is quick tempered displays folly, or whoever is quick tempered displays a lack of good sense, an unwise act, or foolish behavior. Right. So yeah, you know what I mean. So when you think of patience, you think of okay, bet. Or when you think of patience in this sense, you think of, okay, bet, cool. I've been through this situation before, right? I know not to go outside of my, but I know not to. Dang, what am I trying to say? So we'll just go back to the patience with others. You know, you speaking with somebody, right? And they're going through something, but they get at you the wrong way, like they're talking at you or something like that. You know, in the back of your mind, okay, bet, cool. I've been through this situation before. So I know not to get out of my mind. I know not to talk at them. I know to just, all right, bet, cool, chillax. Let me talk to them. Let me chill them out. Right. Wisdom is knowing what to do in situations, even if we just talk about life. Knowing, cool. Knowing I've been through this situation before and I know how to get through it. Right. Cool. These are the lessons that you learn in life. This is how you know. Right. So yeah. Um. Yeah. And we're gonna move quickly to this one. And this one is kind of just adding on to we still in Proverbs, uh Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. I gotta work on memorizing these two. I ain't gonna lie to you. Um 32. Very cool. All right. Just kind of adding on to I'm on my laptop right now. Uh this is book Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. And it says, better a patient, yeah, better a patient oh my, better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. Hold on, this is not the right one. Verse, hold on, am I in the right one? I can't find it. Dang it. Sheesh. Chapter 16, verse, is it 22 or 32? Hold on. Yeah, better a patient person than a warrior, one with self control than one who takes a city. So, yeah, they actually gave me a point to kind of, better a patient person than a warrior, one with self control than one who takes a city, right? The lot is cast into the lap, but it's every decision from the Lord. I know this is not okay. Dang it, it's all good. But yeah, it was somewhere. Hold on. 14. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I think I might have put this down, but I was reading from the wrong joint. That's crazy. All right, let me go back to the one I was on. Proverbs 14:29. Let me just go down her. Uh Dang it. It's all good. Um I'll just speak from the point then. It's all good. Wisdom and self control, right? Because that was just an add on, anyways. I don't know why I spent all that time thinking about. Yeah, so bad, cool. Wisdom and self control, right? So yeah, like I said, being patient in a situation, whether it's being patient with others, being patient with your like you being patient on God or waiting on God to deliver you out of a situation, ultimately gives you the wisdom and the self control to know what to do or ultimately how to get out of a situation, right? Like I just said, right? So yeah, it's important to be patient when you're growing your relationship with God or just with everyday things. Like I said, with people in the situation that you might be in, where there's waiting in line or being in traffic. I know that's a crazy. You know what I mean? Instead of just sitting there yelling at the person in the front, turn your music on, jam out. You never know. You might have a good time. Ultimately, have a better attitude throughout the day. You know what I mean? And yeah, um, yeah, cool. I'm mad that I couldn't find that, but it's all good though. It's all good though. We move, but yeah. So be patient. I don't know if you ever heard this saying, but patience is a virtue. That's factual. You know what I mean? Um, that other saying that I was saying, he may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. That's factual. Because even though, and I hate to keep bringing this up, but I mean, it's facts. It's me. The anxious situation, right? Crazy. You know what I mean? The anxious situation, right? Yeah, I might have prayed. The first panic attack, the second panic attack, the third panic attack. And yeah, I'm going to be honest. I had that for like months, right? But the thing is, I knew with the wisdom, right? I knew with the wisdom that I was just speaking on, right? To continue to do it, not just do it and then stop. Continue to do it. And guess what? Like I said, I'm not being patient throughout that situation. Being patient with the affliction. Crazy. Being patient with the afflictions, right? Being patient with my affliction. I now had the wisdom to know what to do if I were ever in that situation. I pray to God not, but yet to be in that situation again. Right. Right. So knowing that, apply that in your life. Try your best to apply these things in your life, and yeah, it'll ultimately get better. Whatever situation you might be in. Yeah, it was over 30 minutes, almost 40 minutes, but it's all good, bro. If you need to break this vid up, kind of learn as you go. It's a long vid, but it's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Sun going down. It's getting a little dark in here. I'm gonna go ahead and watch the rest of this game because I know I'm missing it. Spurs playing. Hopefully they lock in this round because if they don't, they out of there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of this day, or should I say night? And yeah, I'll make sure y'all do too. Peace. Oh, well, I'll speak. Nah. I'll speak on it today's vid. So yeah, bet. Peace.